new police officers are getting a hand from those who have retired their badges.
The Police Training Institute teaches officers how to conduct stops, and some familiar faces were there to teach them about it. WCIA 3's Emily Braun is live in Champaign now. Emily, what is this training?
Christy, they're learning how to do Terry stops. In other words, interviewing people on the street who are suspected to be a part of a crime or know something about a crime. So, for example, let's say police think that I stole this wallet from the Police Training Institute. They can stop me right here and ask me questions, and I have to cooperate with them. So officers from all over the state come here to the Police Training Institute to learn this type of investigation using hands-on, real-world scenarios. And the teaching staff at PTI says it's crucial they make their mistakes here because the stakes are high when they're doing these out on the street. They also want the public to know if you're ever stopped and you try to walk away from the police officer, you could be arrested for that. The volunteers with the Police Training Institute told me this hands-on training is what is so crucial because they say it is the best way to prepare these new officers for doing their job diligently out on the streets. Live in Champaign, Emily Braun, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
No worries about snow really for the kiddos this morning unless you're closer to I-70 where it looks like we are noticing some of those light snow showers and nothing too heavy. It looks like most of that light snow going to be around here for just a little while. Then we'll get a break later into the morning. By the afternoon, that snow will begin to pick up again, and by the time the kiddos are heading home, not a lot of snow probably on the ground and not seeing much at all, but we will see more of it to come as we head on into the evening hours. So if they have any after school plans, maybe have to get to some sporting events or something, they might have to deal with it on their way home. So keep that in mind. Now, currently looking outside here in Springfield on your Roofing Dog iNet Flooring America Skycam, it's a cloudy and gloomy start. The snow, though, is south of us, and that looks to remain south of us until we head more on into the afternoon hours when that second wave and that deeper moisture begins to arrive from the west. Future track going to show you maybe a little rain. I don't think we see much of that. It mainly will be in the form of snow for us as it moves through. Then tonight we'll continue to see more of that moisture moving throughout the area and eventually seeing this come to an end as we head early into your Friday morning. 32 in Springfield, top off at 30 degrees in Decatur, 30 in Champaign. Much warmer weather starting tomorrow and on into next week. We'll show you that coming up in your 7-day forecast in just a bit. Christy, Aaron.
Adam, thanks. New this morning, 2 people are expected to be okay after they were shot at the Springfield neighborhood last night.
Our media partners at the State Journal-Register report that it happened behind an apartment building in the 200 block of North Glenwood Avenue. One man was shot in the arm, the other in the leg, and another man was pistol whipped. Officers say 2 suspects drove away from the scene. It is still under investigation, but if you know anything about what happened, call police.
We have more details about the conditions of 2 people who were hurt by the same semi-driver within several months. The first crash was in October on I-74. Police say a deer ran in front of a pickup truck. The pickup truck stopped and the semi ran into him. The second crash was last week. The semi was merging onto I-57 from I-74 near Champaign. Police say he crossed over into the right lane from the merging lane and hit a car. The driver, Trevor Fisher, was the semi driver in both crashes. He was carrying pigs both times. Police had to shut down the interstates to collect them. We reached out to the trucking company, but they would not answer our questions. The man who was hurt in the first crash is recovering at a rehab facility. The driver from last week is on bed rest for 2 weeks from a backbone fracture near his lungs.
We have new developments this morning. All federal charges against former Congressman Aaron Schock have been dropped. A court document shows he's agreeing to pay back more than $100,000 he owes to both the IRS and his campaign fund. A deferred prosecution deal was announced in federal court in Chicago yesterday morning. If he pays back the money and stays out of trouble, all the felony counts would be dropped and he would have a clean record. Schock's campaign committee is pleading guilty to a misdemeanor count of failing to properly report expenses.
One man was hurt and another jumped from a building trying to escape a fire in Springfield. It happened at an apartment complex on 7 Pines and Gaines Mill Road. Crews say a maintenance worker who had been trying to let people know about the fire was jumping from the 3rd floor balcony onto a balcony below it. He's okay. The chief says one man was seriously hurt and taken to the burn unit.
A house indicator caught fire for the 2nd time this year. It happened near East Cantrell and South Franklin Streets. Firefighters say there was a fire at the same home last month. Now, the fire is considered suspicious because no one lived there. There wasn't any electricity or gas turned on either.
New this morning, a Decatur man was arrested Tuesday after police say he attacked his wife and nailed the door shut to prevent her from escaping. Our partners at the Herald and Review report it happened Monday night. The man's wife told officers her husband was high on crystal meth when he kicked her several times, nailed their back door shut, and sat next to the front door so she couldn't leave. The woman smashed a window and tried to yell for help. After he punched her, the woman was able to escape to a hospital. Officers arrested the man on a domestic battery charge.
State lawmakers plan to crack down on patient neglect at nursing homes. They have a plan to increase penalties for underperforming senior facilities. Nursing home patients were hospitalized 6,000 times last year, with sepsis already set in. About 1 in 5 died. Lawmakers say homes are understaffed, and some claim staff would rather drug patients than take the time to treat them.
They use psychotropic drugs to quell the clients, to keep them quiet, enable them to go and administer to those who are most needy. But what happens when you are not able to administer to those who may have bedwetting issues or not able to get up? They develop what we call bed sores.
This plan would require verbal consent from the patient before taking any drugs, and if a nursing home didn't reach proper staffing levels, the state would fine them and slap a sign on the door alerting the public that the home is understaffed.
We have an update on the Champaign County Nursing Home. The Health Facilities and Services Review Board voted to extend the ownership permit another month. This means the sale of the nursing home in Urbana is still pending. The nursing home was supposed to be sold last November. The county has spent millions of dollars to keep it afloat and get the sale through. The extension gives the county ownership until April 1st.
Well, that will wrap up the morning show on WCIA 3, but coming up when we make the switch to WCIX for the 7 and 8 o'clock hours of the morning show,
we're learning how to make the perfect grab-and-go breakfast. Cooking coach Adam Wisniewski is fixing oatmeal and nut bites coming up in Kitchen Confidence in about 10 minutes.
But before we get to that, let's get a check of our forecast with Adam.
Recapping how much snow we expect today through tonight, 1 to 3 inches mainly, especially where we do have those advisories in place. Now, once we head on into the night, we're going to notice that a lot of this weather is going to head its way farther to the east. And for tomorrow, warmer weather. Back up to 40, 53 over the weekend, more 50s next week.